What's going on, guys? In today's video, I got something unique for you. In my last Q&A video, I got a couple questions about my thumb, and I answered them obviously as I normally would. I thought they were good questions, but I realized that there's still a lot of people out there that maybe have just recently started to support me that didn't realize that I was missing half of my right thumb, and I figured there isn't a better time than to make a video on it to explain what happened, my personal experience with it in life, in gaming, how I play, and just all the ins and outs of it, right? I made a video a couple years ago in the past when I was at the Face House in Austin, Texas, but I didn't really go in depth, and it wasn't that great of a video because, like I said, guys, this happened when I was a baby, and I kind of went off from what I thought I was told, but all the facts weren't correct, and I just thought that I could make the video better. And also, since this is my YouTube channel and I'm posting consistently, I figured the new people that have been here, been showing love to me, deserve to see a brand new video about it. So to get right into it, before I start, as you guys can see, this is not a magic trick. You can see I have on my right hand, it's like cut right here. I guess you could say it's my whole thumb. It is no longer there. Well, was never really there to begin with. So to give you guys a little more context, I was 14 months old. I have an older brother and an older sister. My older brother's age difference is about 7 years older, so he was around 7. See, he was like 6, 7, and then my sister is 13, 14 years older than me. I can't remember off the top of my head, but so she was like 15 years old, right? So it's just another day outside. My dad was at home as well. He was washing his truck in the backyard, and my mom was at work up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And from what my mom told me and my brother were by an exercise bike, and my brother was playing this game that is called like ice cream. I don't know the exact game that he was playing, but basically he was on one side of the exercise bike, right? And he was spinning the wheels, and he was only 6 or 7. So like, he's still very young. He didn't realize that I was, I guess, right next to him on the opposite side of the exercise bike, right? And I stuck my thumb into the chain, into the exercise bike chain, while he was doing it, ripped it right off. He obviously is in shock because he's like, holy shit, I just chopped my brother's thumb off. My sister then comes into the scene. She, I guess, is screaming. She yells to get my dad, because my dad's in the backyard washing his truck, and they call 911. My brother grabs my ripped off thumb. They put it in ice. So we get to the hospital, and they're like, no, we need to airlift you to Jefferson Children's Hospital up in Pennsylvania. And at this point, my mom had then been called by my sister, told him like, hey, dad had to take Ian to the hospital. So like, my mom's like, what the, like, freaking out because she's at work. Like, she was on her way home, gonna be on her way home from work. So I get airlifted in a helicopter to this hospital. My mom and dad end up getting there. My grandfather also, I think my grandfather was actually the first one there. And then my mom is in the hospital, and the doctor, who was a great doctor, my mom told me his name, I forget it. He told my parents that this was going to be a long surgery. This was going to be a serious surgery, obviously, because it wasn't like my thumb was hanging on by a thread, or, it was badly cut. Like, it was sliced right off. I mean, you guys gotta imagine how big a 1-year-old's thumb is, like, it's, I don't even know if I'm close, but and the surgery ended up taking 12 hours. My mom actually made a joke to the doctor when he told her it was going to take that long, because this was at nighttime now, right? Because this had happened in like the early afternoon. My mom's like, are you sure you're going to be able to stay up this whole time? Like, you're 12 hours from now? And so the surgery was successful at first. They were able to put it back on. They put a cast from my elbow all the way up, and they were like, okay, you're gonna stay overnight. We're gonna see, what happens, kind of check up on it, make sure it's taking, right? Because like, when that happened, because it obviously severed the veins in my thumb and everything like that, they actually had to, and I can't show you guys, I would, but I'm just not that flexible. They had to take veins from my right ankle. So I also have, not only do I have, I don't know if you guys can see that scar, but not only do I have a scar on my thumb, I have a scar on my right ankle on the outside of it, because they had to take veins from my ankle and put them into my thumb. So then after the surgery, I'm obviously on medication. They put me on Valium. It basically had the inverse effect of what it was supposed to on me. I ended up being allergic to it, and I became hyperactive, and not just like, oh yeah, I'm cracked. Like, I literally was in the hospital crib, like bouncing, like all over the place. And I was like bumping my cast, like on shit, obviously, because I'm super hyperactive at this point. And when the doctors obviously realize it, that, you know, they come in, they check on me, and they realize that the thumb doesn't look like it's taking how it should be. My mom said the word dusty, like there was no blood flow. So they had to remove the cast, and they were like, yeah, it doesn't look like there's, you know, good enough blood flow going through, like there's no blood there, or very little. So they actually put leeches. Talk about how disgusting this is. I mean, I guess, you know, medicine and technology is far advanced from 1994, but they put leeches on the thumb that was previously chopped off and put back on, to try and draw blood. And I had leeches on my thumb overnight, and my mom said she couldn't sleep, because she was just like, not only from the whole accident, you know, she legitimately was like, my son has leeches on him. Like, what? Long story short, though, it didn't work. The next morning, the thumb was like black. So it just didn't take. You know, there were obviously options back then, but the doctor told my mom, like, it's, you know, it's not worth it to try and, you know, get another person's thumb or whatever the case may be. And so then they just technically amputated it again and left me with this. Boop. But it didn't sever the growth plate. So I was like, obviously, as I've gotten older, my thumb has grown a little bit, because my hand has grown, right? But so that's basically the story. Just a funny side note, after, you know, they had then sewed my amputated thumb up, I would just kept finding ways for some reason to like mess with my cast, which, like, this wasn't a little cast, like I said, like for a baby. This cast literally was my whole elbow up. And so they like really had to keep an eye on me, because every time I was kind of alone, I would just like be itching to get it off. But that is the correct story. In my previous video about a couple years ago, I was definitely off on some of the details, and I was actually super interested to hear, you know, what really happened, because I forgot after all these years. You know, I'm 26 now. This happened damn near 26 years ago, and it was crazy, because I have no recollection of it. You know, I was 14 months old. My mom said I wasn't even really crying. I'm guessing I was in shock, you know, but that is the story. It definitely affected me when I was younger. I mean, my mom told me that she's pretty sure I was ambidextrous when I was younger. Like, even when I was a baby, like, I would always do things with both hands. She also said that after it had happened, you know, the doctor had said I should probably go to rehab. My parents actually I never ended up going to rehab, but they would kind of do it at home with like candies, like Reese's Pieces, and, you know, I would pick it up and, you know, do all this. I had no issue with doing day-to-day things. That's not how it affected me. I think it just affected me mentally, because, you know, when you're younger, you're way more innocent, and I was different, right? I was unique, but at the time I didn't realize that, and I thought I was, you know, looked at as a freak or just super weird, just like not normal, right? And so I definitely, for the most of my childhood, I would hide it as much as I could, just because I was very self-conscious about it. And I think that might be one of the reasons why I started gaming, because I've been gaming for a long time now, guys. I got into it though. I love gaming. I got into it because my older brother, I wanted to do everything that he did, and he was pretty big in the gaming when he was younger. But I think I was able to kind of be myself, right, and not have to worry about people seeing me and seeing my thumb and being drawn back from it, you know. So it definitely affected me, but I got to a certain age, and this was about the same time where I started competing in these events, in MLG tournaments in Halo, where I realized that as much as it was a freak accident and, you know, wouldn't wish it to happen on anyone, obviously, it made me unique. You know, it made me stand out. And it's like something clicked around the time, like I said, I was competing, and I got sponsored by Red Bull for Halo. And then I just started opening up about it and not hiding my thumb anymore. And a lot of my friends, I mean, my close friends knew even when I was younger, but a lot of my friends and just other people I was cool with, or, you know, friendly with, but didn't really know them that well, they actually all thought it was like, they thought it was dope. You know, they thought it was cool. They didn't think it was weird. And it helped me out tremendously. And I feel like it's a huge part of why I am how I am today, and why, you know, I want to be able to speak out about it and, you know, talk about anyone who's out there that loves gaming. Maybe they do it casually, they want to be a professional, whatever the case may be, and they have some sort of disability, that you shouldn't let it hold you back in life. And on top of that, if you were or are self-conscious like I was about my thumb, to realize that it makes you, you know, there's 7 billion people in the world. It makes you unique. You're not like everyone else, and, you know, embrace that in yourself, and people will be drawn to that. You know, you have a story, and 99% of the people that you run into that you might be self-conscious about, like you want to hide it, they're probably going to think it's cool. You know, it's different. You know, there's a ton of good people out there. So don't let your own mind hold you back from being free, right? And just being yourself. You will feel the weight lift off your shoulders when you embrace it, accept that's who you are, and grow. And that is the best advice that I can give to anyone out there. Like I said, the story was crazy. Now to the last part of the video. I know I don't want to keep this too long. Believe me, my mom was talking my ear off for like an hour telling me about the whole story. I'm trying to condense it as much as I can. Is how I play. People always ask that, and to be honest, I kind of got lucky in the sense, I guess you could say, of it being my right thumb compared to my left thumb, and I'll explain why. So, well, this is a PS4 controller, right? The old Xbox controllers, the left thumbstick was raised higher, right, and the right one was lower. But so if I can just, so if it was my left thumb, I'd have to be like, I mean, I guess I could still do it, but it'd be super uncomfortable, right? So since it's my right thumb, and obviously this is PS4, so they're both even, this is basically it. I mean, it's not much different. So when I play, I have to have the controller tilted a little bit because I don't have the length on my right hand. But besides that, literally. So yeah, guys, that's the story. That's the message I wanted to send to everyone out there, and also how I do play. It's really not much different. People always ask though, is it a disadvantage, is it an advantage? And it's a really tough question because I honestly don't know. You know, I never played with 2 thumbs. I've only played with 1. So I normally, my go-to is like, yeah, I'd be Michael Jordan if I have both. You know, I'd have at least 5 rings, but it is what it is. It makes me me. I hope you all have a good night. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what videos you guys want to see in the future. I've been taking all of your opinions and advice, and I've been trying to pump out as many videos as I can. I really do appreciate all the advice you guys give. So keep it up. Thank you so much. See y'all later. Kids out.